Alright, if the mic checks, if the camera works, let's see if we can hop right into the game. Alright, so this is going to be a new take for today, but I'm going to change the approach. While the sun is still, or while the moon is still out, let's look at the skies. Okay, up ahead, up top, that's going to be the space station in between those two planets. Normally when I make a build, I'll go and I'll do it organically. I'll go across I'll follow the, say, screen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left to right. Screen number 3 is navigation. I tend to follow my way underneath the space station. And so, this is my planet. I call my planet because I've spent a lot of time on this planet, but this is at the start point in the game. Like when you first get to the starship, you gotta repair all the stuff, and everything is still broken, that kind of thing. Alright, so this is the starting point of the game. This was Christmas Eve, and it's coming up St. Patrick's Day right now. Alright, this is where we're going to start the game. There's a spawning process. Okay, what we're going to do here, this is going to be one of the main parts. Okay, we're going to fill in the blanks. We're going to fill in a spreadsheet with all of this data. Okay, if I try and do this in a reverse order and just starting the game off and trying to explain what is here, I could be here for a half an hour, I could be here for 3 hours. And so I'm going to spark this for a second, take a look at what you're looking at, and then take a look what you're looking at here. Alright, let me spark this. I use salt for my cash. I use uranium for my gas. I get my nanites from the runaway mold. A Viking system makes it so I can I can get a heavy fighter. And with a tier 3 economy, I mean, I don't care which type, but with a tier 3 economy, then I can get access to all 5 of those economy trading elements. I mean, I don't know what exactly to call them. There's 5 different elements per system that you can get based on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And so those are the prerequisites. Now I've been through this starting process many times, hundreds of times. This is just like the last build. Let me see what I got. Okay, just gotta wake the drive up. Hold on. You're going to end up, when this is done, hopefully you've got the last videos type of thing. In the previous videos, I went through this whole process of setting up your folders and getting everything dialed in. This is part of that. What you'll end up with as time goes on, each of these is not one game save, but is multiple collections of saves. And each one is a star system and a planet name. Each of these have salt and uranium. Each of these have salt and uranium. And each of these are a Viking system. Each of these are a tier 3 economy. It takes a lot of time to get them spawned. And then once they get spawned, see how some of them have multiple. This is one that had a vehicle that I was considering. Ones that are just real in and close. Okay, cool. They don't have a vehicle that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And so I talk about going to a casino and trying to get the dials to all line up 777. There's about 7 different 7s that need to line up when you're level, what I call leveling up the planet. Okay, and so hold on. Let me get back to the game. Hold on. How long is the video? 3 minutes? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Alright, so back in the game real quick. We're going to come fill in all this data in a second, but we're going to fill it out for all the planets that you go through. This spreadsheet I keep talking about. As you go through the game, you're going to come to new star systems. Each are going to have planets, each are going to have elements. If you write them down, okay, then you can search them out. You don't have to run around with like a chicken, kind of with the cut off kind of thing. There's an old phrase I remember when I was a kid. It's talking about don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off. And that's kind of the thing. It's kind of a gruesome visual, but I'm just thinking about it right now. But, okay, anyway, so the catalog. This is what's in the catalog at that point. Okay, not really much on the dial. So this is the save point we're going to be starting at. These are the elements that I just initially picked up. You know what I mean? First, though, I want to show you where I learned how to do some of this stuff and what I'm going to show you. Most people, like I said, I work offline, dude. I've said it in the past, but like I work offline, and like I didn't have the interwebs to go and dial with. And so I'm going to kind of walk in a circle. At the top of this hill up here, I know because I've been here, there's a minor settlement. And I didn't know that until I was, still in the mode of like, you know, sitting out here with my multi-tool and harvesting up all the elements. This is like the first save point. Hold on, let me stop walking. This is the first save point when the vehicle is still broken. You know what I mean? And like the first game save. And I was going through and harvesting up all these elements. Oops. Hold on. Come here. Trying to walk and talk at the same time is proving to be difficult. And so the standard drill at this time, I was still in a bit of a learning mode. Like, I spent time on the planet. I didn't just go off into space and follow the mission. From the first time I started playing this game, I would level it up before I moved up. And so I hadn't even had a chance to even get off the planet yet so much. Discovering different building types. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy, I'm sorry. I love my dinosaurs here. The plume lizard, this is like straight Jurassic Park, dude. What up, buddy? Don't get scared, don't get scared. Okay, so I'd seen like shelters before, okay? But as I'm coming up here, okay, there's a shelter up here. And then I come in over here, I was like, what is this, dude? I had never seen one of these at this point. This is a minor settlement, okay? I'd never seen one before. Now imagine I'm walking up the first time, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, dude. And I walk into this place, and I stop. And I said, what is this all about? I'd never seen this before. And then I set up camp. And I spent a lot of time in here. And I just walked in out of the thing trying to get the car fixed. And then as I'm going to get the car fixed, I'm at 12 hours, dude. I start a new planet. It's like a 12-hour process of just harvesting up the elements so you can fill up your inventory. Oh, man. Anyway. In this building, I eventually packed in 100 refiners, dude. I was trying to, I made every bit of use out of here. I packed 100 refiners into this place. They were packed over the top. They were packed into the sides of the walls, side by side, as close as I could get them. And then as I was going through, I'd go to start one in the refiner, and then I'd go to start the one next to it. And it was already started. I said, that's weird. Maybe I was just rushing too fast or too close and I opened the wrong one. And so I keep on going. I go through the process and I'm trying to refine all my runaway mold or whatever I was doing, copper or something. And I was trying to refine stuff. And as I'm loading all this stuff in here, then all of a sudden I'm noticing as I'm emptying it, I just emptied one and one was already empty. And I'm just like, okay, and then there was another one over there, and there was kind of maybe over here. It was just randomly because I just stuffed them and packed them in. And I made a discovery that there's a little cylinder inside of it. Oh, that's cool. And I started experimenting with it. And so I set up a camp right here. Boom. And then I started playing with it. Oh, made a discovery. Okay. And then I posted videos on a YouTube. And I couldn't just right now my videos get buried and then all of a sudden it starts populating. I'm like, dude, really? Okay. And then another one that I do over here when I do my nanites. Okay, I got a kind of a rig that I do. Okay, and then I went and showed people. I'm restarting this video series again. I've deleted all the previous ones, but it's getting old, dude. I'm going back to 3.75 because I have no interest in the Sentinels update. I'm not going to be used as a guinea pig for the rest of the duration. Okay, but I want to show you the place where I learned how to do everything. We're not going to set up camp here because I don't think it's fair that there's a base right on top of where I set up camp. Hold on, let me spark this. But this is where I learned how to do so much stuff, dude. I want to show you. I think you'll dig it. Definitely gets kind of Borg. But I'd never seen this before. This was my first time here. I was like, what is this all about? You know what I mean? And so I went and I stopped with everything that I was doing. And I spent a month here, dude. I spent a month. And I was like, dude. And we're gonna come back here, not to this base, okay? Because I don't want to again, I don't think it's fair because it's right on top of where the starship was. But this is how I found this. I found come across the shelter, because the mission, you got to repair the ship. Okay, cool. I'd come across the ancient ruin. I spent like a good month there, dude. Okay, like I spent time at these places, and then the ancient ruin had they're probably gonna fall. The ancient ruin had a trading post next to it, and so I set up camp in the trading post. I made it into a base, all this stuff, and then I came across later. I came across what you call it, a planetary archive. Planetary archive did the same thing. I kind of set up a camp on it, and I'm telling you, dude, like I've learned how to do some stuff since I first started playing this game. I've seen, now that I've come online, I usually work offline, but now that I've come online, I see like people when they upload videos like 6 seconds ago type of thing, and I'm just like, look, dude, there's like little kids that play this game, dude, and I watch. I mean, not you don't see the kid, but the kid is playing, and you see a little boy who's like probably like 8, 10 years old playing this game, and I was like, dude, the total level of distress that when I first started playing this game, I thought that this game brought me down to like the status of an 8 or 10 year old kid, dude. I was like, okay, I identify with like, there's a common thread here, and then everyone who's playing this game is getting the same logistical training. That's why I keep talking about Y2K38. I'm probably you guys are gonna get enlisted later. I'm gonna talk about Y2K38, and if these videos ever, they're buried in the memory hole right now, but whatever. Later I'm going to talk about Y2K38. Right now I'm taking a break with the video game. But I'm going to respawn this right now. And we're going to just I want to show you the process again. Just to point out the combination is possible and why I talk about it, okay? This is a game start. When you first launch the game on a clean install, you only have control over these basic options, okay? Um, and the video options. Alright, we set the field of view to 200% and 100% so we can actually see all 5 screens in the cabin. We went through all kinds of stuff in earlier videos, okay, and I was talking about a fall through the floor bug, a fall through bug, okay, and all kinds of other stuff in the previous videos. I can't keep going over that or it's going to take forever. Alright, but like, this is the first thing we have control over. What do we need? What do we have? What can we do? Okay, well, this is what we can do first thing out. The next thing we can do is we can accept or reject whatever planet that is randomly generated. Okay, I say, because I know the combination exists, salt and uranium. Salt I use for my cache. Okay, I refine this into chlorine. It's the best seller on any market for any combination. You can take a full stack and you're going to get better numbers out of it than you're going to get off anything else. And so I synthesize salt, I synthesize uranium. I use that for my gas, for my lifters or thrusters or whatever. I call it my gas. I played SimCity for like 25 years. But like everything is a car and a house and a city and a region. Anyway, the process though is monotonous. It takes no skill. Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, this is the process. Is if you were just gonna go and load the game and start a new game. Okay, there needs to be an advanced options button right here, and then when that happens, this gray, the whole screen becomes gray, and there's a list on each one, dominant life form, and then there's a pull down list with a radio button and an arrow. You pull down the list, it says random, RANDOM. Okay, dominant life form with a radio button, random. Pull down the list, radio buttons say Gek, Korvax, Viking. Okay, and then it says planet type, and there's a radio button that says random with a pull down list, and you pull it down, it says hot, cold, radiant, or toxic. Okay, and then based on that selection, again, it's a radio button, you only select one. Then it says element, it says local element. Okay, and then based on the selection of the planet type, it gives you the available local element types, and you have a radio button. You select one. It's a pull-down list. It says random. You pull down the list. You select one. Okay, you do it for the other element. That would be salt. So the first would be uranium. The next would be salt. So I would say Viking system, radiation planet, uranium, salt. Okay, the next would be like it'd be like economy type. Okay, and you say random. Okay, and you select a different economy type, the different types of planets or whatever, whatever you want your economy to be, and then you say economy strength, and there's a button that says random. You pull down the list, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 economy, and the conflict level and the random, and the pull down tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and the flora tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, fauna tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Now, man, I smoke, dude. And I'm trying to talk as fast as I can, but that needs to happen like ages ago. But I'm going to demonstrate why. Okay, to generate a starting planet with salt, uranium, a Viking system, a tier 3 economy, and then once that's generated, does that planet have the vehicle, the starship that you're going to want to drive? In this case, is going to be a heavy fighter. It's the best combination I can come across. Okay, when I play a Gek game or a Korvax game, I'm at a complete disadvantage when it comes to pirates and sentinels. Okay, now during this part, I can see right now it's a frozen planet. We're not going to be here. But on the keyboard, I cannot escape out of this sequence. This is why there needs to be an advanced options checkbox. On this machine, it's about a 3-minute process to respawn, go through the sequence kind of thing, and then from E to E, you press the E button, press the E button. Okay, that's about how long? It's about 3 minutes. On the AMD machine I was playing, man, it was like 7 to 10 minutes. This game does not function on my AMD machine at all, dude. But anyway, so this is the process of like going through and selecting or leveling up the planet. Whatever elements work for you, do what you gotta do. Okay, whatever kind of game you want to play, that's the game you want to play. Find out if the combination exists of the element types, the local. There's a stellar here. At this point, I just want to time out and do a point of mention. Okay, don't move your mouse here. You're going to be lined up directly automatically with your starship. Okay, so don't touch your mouse at this point. Directly on that dot is the starship. Okay, hold down the tab and then you press escape. Okay, then it gives you the discoveries. And again, okay, it's got salt. Oh, that's cool. It's got dioxide. Well, I don't care about my health status, health bars. Viking, that's cool, but it's a tier 2 economy. Okay, it doesn't really matter about the rest of it. It doesn't have the 2 elements that I want. But if these were the elements that you wanted, go for it, dude. I'm not going to do the random game anymore. In my experience, when I sit there and I take a random game, the first thing I need is salt, the first thing I need is uranium. But I gotta sit, if I don't have it at the ready, first available, I'll sit at a trade station for hours or at a space station for hours, dude. Like waiting for somebody to roll in with something in their pocket. Dude. I'm not dealing with it. And so, again, first thing we can do is we can do our options. The next thing we have control over is whether we accept the planet. If the combination exists, find the combination you want to exist. For me, it's a salt, uranium, Viking, and a tier 3 economy. The higher the conflict and the higher the sentinels, the better chance of a heavy fighter. Okay, but once these are satisfied, then there comes the process of leveling up your inventory and keeping an eye on the aircraft as they're flying by, and then counting for whichever type of system, counting 7 vehicles for the dominant type. In this case, it's all going to be a heavy fighter. So I'm going to do this a couple more times so you get the idea that this can go on for time, dude. This can go on for time. And I'm not really feeling that. Okay, but that's the process real quick. Let me get some coffee. Oh, man. Anyway, so for this video, we're going to go and we're going to fill in the blanks. I'm trying to keep this video short. So we're going to call it like what? We're going to call it game start and spreadsheet data. Maybe game start and spreadsheet data. I don't know. But let's show you one more time with this. Let's just take this one and we'll just walk through it. This is not a planet that we're going to save. We're just going to run through it. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Okay, so we're not going to keep this planet, but I just want to get you through the initial sequence of getting to the vehicle. I see a lot of people panic. Okay, don't panic. Don't panic. Just take your time, be methodical on what you do, slow it down. Now, when we start this game, this is normally when I would collect the data. Okay, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to do it with the next one that we started off. I showed you in the cabin. I showed you the planet we're going to start on. This is when I would collect that data before I even got into the game. Alright, I'm going to take you through that process right now, but we're not going to fill in that data. First thing we're going to do, again, don't move your mouse. Don't move your mouse. We're not going to stay on this planet, but just pretend this is the planet that had what we were looking for. Don't move your mouse, because it's going to be lined up with the starship. We're going to hold down the tab key to skip that sequence that needs to be removed, and then we're going to press escape. And now we can move our mouse. Now we can move our mouse. If this was the planet, the first thing we would look at, this is not, by any means, this is not. But say you wanted sodium and dioxide on a Gek planet with a tier 2 economy, and you say, this is the planet, this is what I'm looking for. I want to spend the rest of my time in No Man's Sky on this planet. That's the level of what you got to deal with. This is where you're going to set up everything. I mean, at any point you can do what you want to do. Okay, I'm just gonna try and get you leveled up, and then you go handle your business. But like on this planet, you're safe from everything. I mean, unless the animal doesn't like it. I mean, don't go picking a fight. But nothing's going to attack you on this planet. I mean, you have every ability to level up and do everything you need. You have a safe place in the No Man's Sky universe to be. But anyway, so first thing we're gonna do. After we get in and say this is the planet that you want, you're going to go into your spreadsheet. Did we have it? Nope. Hold on. Yikes. Let me do this again. Bring up a spreadsheet. This is why I try and encourage you to make a toolbar. You're not going to be able to launch this if the game will not give you access to the desktop. So if you don't have a toolbar, you're not going to be able to launch it after you've started the game. Okay, but we would fill in all the data. We're going to do that for the planet we're going to play on. But this is the point when you would fill in that data. Okay, boom, 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 boom. You'd say, what's the system type? I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Okay, and you'd say the system type, and then there's 6 different or something in there. And then you'd fill in unknown, And then the planet you've got an environment. And I'm not going to try and even, okay. And you'd fill in all the blanks, okay? This is when you would do that. I'm not going to do that right now. What I am going to do is back in that menu, I'm going to go to the log. I'm going to select the objective. Boom. Then I'm going to escape. First thing I'm going to modify is the camera settings, and I'm going to modify the viewpoint, the first person, third person. So we're going to do an X, and then we're going to go up to the camera. We're going to assign it control 9, and then we're going to scroll down to the gear cog, and we're going to go up 1 notch, and then to the right 1 notch to the switch viewpoint, and then we're going to do control 0. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. I'm going to do control. I'm going to scroll up to the camera and do control 9. I'm going to scroll down to the gear cog. I'm going to hit the button and up 1 notch, toggle camera view, control 0. I'm going to right click, and right click again. Okay, and I'm going to hit the 9 key. At this point, here's what I normally do. I'm going to make an archive of the initial game start, the initial save point, okay? I wish I'd done this for the planet that I've got, and maybe I do, but I just don't know where. But like, here's what we do. On a slow computer, this is gonna hurt. Just do one at a time. But the E key on the keyboard raises the camera view, and the left click does a camera shot. So on a 3, 2, 1, we're off. Now straight ahead is gonna be the starship. You're either gonna see it, or it's gonna be where you cannot see it. And so there it is right there peeking up. And so we found our starship. And so that's where we're gonna be heading. You see the little plateau right under where it says change height. Now it's above where it says left shift. And now it's coming up from underneath left shift. Boom. So on the screen where it's blurred out, it says left shift, take screenshot. Boom. There's our starship. And so we're going to take a panoramic of the sky real quick. Alright, this is what you would do. this is what I do. Once you get a large archive and a vault of multiple hundreds of planets, dude, you're gonna like not remember. You're not gonna remember what was going on. And so if you take a quick photo snapshot thing, like a panoramic, then you're gonna go, oh, okay, I remember. There was a thing that's got this weird cross in the middle of it. All right, got it. Okay. And then once we kind of zoom around here, just taking screenshots, right? Then we're gonna go and we're gonna change the, there we go. Let's do like this. All right, so where was our guy at? Our starship was somewhere, where? No, no. There it is. Okay, so there's our straight ahead. There's our 0. Let's go aim down on the keyboard, hit the F key, and let's look around real quick. Some sodium up across where, figure about 2 o'clock-ish. And then we've got, that's about it, really. Alright, so we've only got some sodium about 2 o'clock. Not a lot floating around. We got 1, so we're good, but like, there's our guy. So that's going to be our target where we're going. So we're going to be going up about 2 o'clock on a full breath. Okay, so I'm going to drop out of here, and we're going to kind of make a 1 breath dash. That'll get us up the hill and near the rocks. And we're going to go, there's our ship. Facing straight ahead, we're going to go and do it. So once we come out of this camera mode, I'm going to switch to 0 and go first person because I can't do third person. And then we're going to run right up the hill, and then we're going to take a breath, and we're going to get our ferrite, and then we're going to stroll from there. Okay, so there we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, actually, you know what, let's just hang tight here. Let me switch first person. We got stuff right in front of us, we're good. Alright, let's just... I thought they showed nothing there. I'm like, well, that's no good. Alright. Don't waste your fuel. There we go. Alright, so we're going to tab, and we're going to fix this guy up. Alright. And don't freak out and panic, man. Okay, we're going to scan. Right click to scan. There's our sodium. Alright, we're not going to shoot anything else. We're just going to go for what we're looking for. Save your fuel now. Save your fuel for carbon. Okay. Save your fuel for carbon. Here, let's get over these rocks. Looks like there's a pothole. There we go. Alright, so we got our sodium. Don't use it all up at once. Don't use it all up at once. Okay. It wants us to recharge our suit. There's a button you can do with the X key that says do it there. I don't. I'll go to tab, and then I'll click it once and press the C key, and then I'll drop half of it in there. You know what I mean? And then the next time if I need to. Now it's going to spit up the ship over this way. I'm just going to start making towards it, but...
Starship signal detected.
Yeah. And at this point, all we're going to do is just make our way to that starship. We don't care about anything else right now. Things can zap us or sting us, that's fine. There we go. Once we get to that starship, then we own everything. We own the universe. But that starship is our first save point. And so don't waste any time on anything else. Just go straight for the king. There we go. And don't worry about your exosuit. Until your last health bar is out, you'll be there by then, so don't panic. I see people panicking on the perma mode and survival modes. That's a unnecessary panic. Just stay on mission of what you're trying to get accomplished. There we go. And now we're home free, dude. And then we just get down to that little... Come on, buddy, get a move on. Get to that beacon. There we go.
Extreme cold damage detected.
I bet. Alright, what does it say? It says iteration 2394829084924924924G. Scenario iteration number 231187661T. Deleted. boundary separation failure likely. It says vessel 16 emptied, cause sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer. Analysis, fresh iteration generated, anomaly containment prepared. Gives us two options. One is broadcast, two is leave. I follow kind of with it, so I say one broadcast. It says broadcast received, traveler anomaly detected. Alright, clicking, it says anomaly is compliant, position logged, system integrity scan initialized. Clicking again gives us freedom to run to the car, and we hold down the E key, and we're in the car. Boom. Takes us through the starting sequence. It says iteration 2394824. Whoa, see the starships? By the way, I got distracted. Those two ships, when they fly by, this part of the game, like we saw one that was a fighter with a kind of the magnetic ring. Okay, like when they go by, you're gonna be hop out with your camera. We set it to number 9. Okay, take a screenshot of those. Okay, and take an inventory. You're gonna be counting up to 7. Okay, we can't exit the vehicle right now, but in the rear there's a fighter. Okay, and so in a Viking system there's going to be 7 fighters. Take an inventory of all the vehicles. It's going to come up later. When you look at the photos, you don't have to load the game to find out what was going on. If you're trying to look back in your library and say, where did I have this one thing? I don't remember. It comes up. It comes up. Okay, iteration online. Okay, boom. Atlas connection. Intermittent. Launch thrusters offline, and the pulse engine is offline. Okay. It says what? It says I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here and no sense of it before. Okay, it says, but the ship at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I'm not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. It says number 1 is read log, and number 2 is connect to exosuit. Sorry, man, I got out of the shower and my hair is just flying in my face here now. It's drying off, and now it's got one hair just like flying in my eye. There we go, I think I got it. It's distracting, dude, I tell you. Anyway, read log. Read log. It says log 4925A unavailable, substituting data. And it says exosuit connected. Suggestion pilot should perform maintenance. Select desired repair path. It says 1. It says repair ship systems. And so we say repair ship systems. It says self-guided repair protocols initiated. Okay, now we're about there. Alright, first thing we're going to do on the keyboard is hit the E key and make our first save. And now we can take a breath. Hop right back in the car. First thing out from here though, to keep consistent, the X on the keyboard, when we assign the field of view, okay, right here, down to the gear cog, oops, too slow. Down to the gear cog, clicking left, switch starship view, control 0, gonna right click, I'm gonna hit 0, and that works. Okay, so I'm gonna eject again, and I'm gonna hop back in the car. Alright, let's take a look at the inventory. Okay, boom. Everything looks like what the other one looked like. I think I had a couple different more things in there. I don't know. I think I had a dihydrogen crystal and a carbon or something. I don't know. But look, I try not to fill up my inventory before I get started. You know what I mean? I try and keep a clean start. Okay, so we got everything is started here in the multi-tool. Okay, this is going to be the save point where we start. And why we set the settings to 200% field of view in flight is we can see all 5 screens, okay, at any given point. That coordinate data, you're going to need to be able to see that as you're flying, and if you go and try and shift to look at it, you're going to pitch and lose control of the vehicle. It's just a real pain. It's a real pain. But let's see. Let's eject out of here. All right. And then what you would do is you'd say options and you'd say quit the desktop. And it says that you saved 5 seconds ago, you sure? And you'd have all this data filled in, right? And then you'd be coming over to your coordinate data, right? And you fill in some blanks. How long was that? 34 minutes. I'm trying. Hold on. Okay. That game in the roaming folder. On the desktop in the last video or so, we made some folders. Alright, this would be the Hello Games. You would right click it and you'd say 7-zip and you say add to Hello Games, right? See where this one is sitting right now? This is the one we're going to be using. This file that we just made is going to look like this at the end of it, okay, or whatever the data is. Alright, so in this case we would take this in the beginning phase of it though, we'd say cut, and we come back to our desktop, if I can get the thing going, and we go to our backups folder. Okay, in the backups folder that we made, again this is where we're going to start, but we would say right click and we would say paste. Boom. Okay, this file right here is going to look like this file up here. Okay, based on the data that is going to be contained in this coordinates. So in the coordinate data from system to objective is what you see is the title right here. Here's the Hello Games folder. Okay, it's enumerated, and then here's the star system name, the planet name, the coordinate data, which has the field of view at 200%, what the item is, or what the event is, what the item is, and then what the objective is. Okay, that's the construct. That's what's going to happen there. Alright, now if that's done, I'm going to delete that save. I'm going to just delete that save. Boom. That one's gone. Okay, what you would then do after that's all converted, you would right click and you would copy that. Let's close that down. And then you come back to your roaming folder. Okay, in your roaming folder you'd control V, or you'd right click and you'd paste. Okay, let's replace the file. This one that we have, we don't want to delete the wrong folder, so we just do a right cut. Okay, put that in a dump folder. We'd say new folder, just to make sure we don't delete the wrong thing. I worked late. I worked till I'm exhausted. I can't see, and I don't want to delete the wrong folder. That way it's safe. If anything fails along the way, you've got everything dialed back in. Back to our roaming folder. Okay, now the save file is gone. It's gone through a whole conversion process. It now looks like this, right? We'd say right click and we'd say 7-zip. We'd say extract here, and then boom, here's our folder. Then we're done. We can just close these folders out. How long is this tape? 36 minutes. I'm trying to keep it short, dude. Alright, so then now that's done, and we can load into our game. Alright, now let's start filling in some data. Oh, again with that nag. Alright, I need to pack another bowl. In the next video, we're actually going to start playing and having some actual fun. But for right now, hold on. My beard is going in my mouth here. Hold on a second. Alright, let's load back to where we started. Alright, now what we're going to fill in the spreadsheet data, okay? As you go through the game, or at least as I go through the game, I go to different star systems, I land on different planets, it's got different elements, it's got different sentinels, it's got different everything, okay? And I cannot remember, I mean sometimes yeah for a little bit, but I cannot remember everything that's on there, and in every planet, and everywhere I go to. One of the main objectives, we're going to be starting a system with a tier 3 economy. There's 6 other systems, there's 7 altogether, of different element types, okay, economy types. And those economy types are going to, here, let me turn around and get in the car real quick. Alright, so I think I walked you through and showed you where, let me just hop in the car for a second. Okay. Now, I don't know if it was on this take or the last one, but I'm going to walk you up there just for the sake of it. Okay, there's a minor settlement at the top of this hill, dude. And when I first started playing this game, dude, like, I can't remember if it was in this take or the last one, but I'm going to talk about it while I'm here. This is where I learned how to do a lot of this stuff. Okay, I was still in the mode of, like, doing things the hard way. I call it the hard way. Where you sit out here for, like, 12 hours and with the multi-tool and just kind of, like, making sound effects and trying to harvest all the different elements. Man, that's the hard way, dude. And so, by the time I worked myself out from the bottom of this, kind of like it's a little kind of a valley that the game has me started in, at the top of a hill, kind of I think right behind where I'm sitting right now, is there's a minor settlement up there. And that was the first time I actually got a chance to sit down at a minor settlement and find out what is that. I had seen I spent my first like month at a ancient ruin. I spent my first month at like ancient ruins, okay, and then like there was a trading center or a trade depot that was next to that, and then so I set up camp at the trade depot, got really used to it, and then I can't. It's like missing it when it's not there, but like spent like made a base out of the place, tried building a base in all different places, did the same thing. I finally found a planetary archive. I mean, these were new discoveries. I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, okay. Like, I didn't go running chasing the mission off of the planet, and I worked offline, so I didn't have anyone to kind of like base the information off of, bounce the information off of. Okay, and so it was really self-discovery. Now, granted, other people do stuff as well, but when I've tried to make videos, I mean, I've deleted all the other series, but like, if they're for different versions, they're moot. They're obsolete if it's a different version. I've now just starting this whole thing over from 375. This is the build that I'm gonna play. I've got no interest in Sentinel, and I'm not interested in being a guinea pig or a test rabbit. But that's just me. That's just me. Hold on. Alright, so at this point of the game, dude, like, it's gonna want you to collect all this stuff. Okay, yeah, we can do that. That'll happen. But we're gonna take a different approach. Before any of that gets into play, though, here, I don't know if I put it in this video or the last one, but just while we're up here, I want to take a walk and we'll talk. Alright, so, here, let's hop out of the car. And I'm just gonna hit the auto walk button. At the top of this hill, I did it either in this video or the last one, but I cannot remember. See that crest up there? At the top of this hill, I'm just gonna let it walk and see how it gets there. There's a minor settlement behind that ball of carbon. Hold on. I'm just gonna let it walk. I gotta need to smoke for a second. I think I just put it either this video or the last one, but like, I got in a motorcycle wreck, dude, so I got short-term memory problems. But while I'm sitting here right now, I just want to talk about what this is and where I learned how to do this stuff, dude. Like, I spent so much time on this planet. The spawning process, okay? I've been through that spawning process. I showed you the vault that's got like dozens and dozens and dozens of them. You do you. Find out what works for you, what you're looking for. But that being the case, understand that this demonstration, like right here, when I came over this hill, I was like, what the hell is that, dude? I saw the dinosaur, but I'm like, what is this, dude? So a soccer field? I mean, the first time I saw it, I did not know. And I'm like, that looks like a landing. Okay. And I was like, well, what is this all about? That I recognized. I came up in here, I was like, okay. I come up inside, dude, and I stopped. And I was just like, this is cool, dude. And I spent like another month inside of this place. I don't know if I said in this one or the last video, but dude, I packed like 100 portable refiners in this place, like 100. And I was trying to refine mold at the time. Packing them in, and all of a sudden I noticed that like, as I would start one, the one next to it was started. And I thought I was going too fast. I was like, okay. And then over here, I'd start one, and then another one started. I mean, I had them packed into the ceiling, dude, over the rack. I mean, just like everywhere everywhere, just everywhere. I had 100 in here. Whew, sounds like a number. No, it's a real number, dude. And so I squeezed these refiners in as close as I could place them. And then I started noticing when I was taking the stuff out of the refiners, or when I launched the refiners, the one that was next to it was already going, or when I take one out and then I go to the next one, it's missing out of the next one. Like, I thought that it was going too fast or just not getting precise or too close with the cursor. And so when I'd go and I'd fill it, I'd sit there and like I'd have a whole rack sitting on top here. Okay, and it's just like everything as close as I could fit it everywhere. Okay, and then like I take one out, and I go to the next one, it's already gone. Okay, maybe I was going too fast. Then I would sit there paying real close attention to it. Okay, wait for the cursor to change the E to change to the next one. And then I said, stop, something's going on here. And so I came out, and I set up camp right here, dude. And I just put a portable refiner there, and I put another portable refiner. But I had everything was facing me at the time. Now I straightened everything out. But I used this as a graph paper, graph sheet. You know what I mean? Like, I'll come up on the dial, and then follow it back, get lined up straight so that everything's perpendicular, so I'm offset. Okay, and then like, too far. And then I'll set up camp, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go, I can't, see now here, perfect, perfect, perfect. Right inside here, see this little blue cylinder? That's the key right there. Right in its pivotal axis. Okay, I go to set it down, I'll line it up like right here. Okay, using that little, see in between there's a kind of what'll be an orange rubber grommet, and then like a kind of a shelf plating, and I'll kind of square them up right there, and then I'll be like boom. And then I'll put the other one over here, and then get that one dialed in where it's just like about a boom. And then boom. And when I do that, look at where those cylinders are. From their pinion the radial center, the origin of the from the origin of the sphere, like 4 pi r squared h, 4h pi r squared radians or something like that. I don't know, a cylinder. Okay, there's a blue cylinder inside of there. If you can overlap them, okay, within a certain distance. I use the spacing of the grommet, or the grouting on the tile, okay, between the plating and the rubber of the orange band, and then I'll line it up, the frame, with the tile at the front, and then I'll slide it over here, and I'll do the same, like right about there, okay, and then boom, they both intersect each other, both both circumference intersect each other. Oh, that's cool, dude. That works out really, really well. Because at that point, then I can start synthesizing my materials, dude. And then I was like, okay, I learned how to synthesize stuff. Ah, that was great. And then I came out over here and I started working on the next one. And I was like, okay, trying to do the same thing. It was like, what I noticed, if I did the same thing on either side, okay, cool. But then I can line that up here. Okay, I'm a little offset. And then I go get the other one and I'll drop it on. Okay, and then I'll drop it on. And then I'll get this guy dialed in. And then just kind of T-bone it with, like, there's a welding bead right down the center of the frame. And then I'll kind of get it dialed in on there. It's a little offset, but, and then boom. And then that's placed, and then I've just unload the shelf, dude. Just unload the shelf, and then I posted videos about this, and I see other people doing it, and they can't do it right. They're making like a big Y and circles and all kinds of junk, and so I learned how to do a lot in this place, dude. This is where I learned how to do everything I'm going to show you. I mean, I learned other stuff at other places, but this is the first time I found a minor settlement. And I set up camp, dude, and like, dude, I'm telling you right now, there is absolutely no reason to crash an economy. If someone's telling you to crash an economy, that person has no idea what they're doing. I mean, sure, yeah, cool, whatever, do your thing, but see, another thing that happens, see now how this landing pad is all black, okay? But as soon as we come to land on it, it's going to change into like a kind of a striped kind of thing. Here, let's bounce out of here. Let's get back to the car. Alright, let's fill in the data and cut this tape, and then we'll get the game started. But I'm just not going to go through the whole spawning process over and over and over again, dude. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to set up camp at this place because it's too close. I don't think it'd be fair, or even, I don't think it'd be useful in a demonstration, because it's like, the statistical probability of you having a base right off the top, dude, like, that was the first for me, dude. First time I had a chance to actually get into the thing and find out a minor settlement, I was like, dude, this is awesome. Alright, so let's hop in the car. Alright, so let's start filling in some data. Alright, let's do this real quick. How long is the tape? 48 minutes? Alright, let's start filling in some blanks. Let's go to the spreadsheet. Let's go to the planets and the system. Alright, back to the game. Let's do escape and discoveries. And then we're going to right click. And then the system. The system name is, pronounce it. Let's type it in first and then try and pronounce it. Let's do something like Lay, what does it say, MUS, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, MUSKYV. Okay, Lamuskev. Let's do select all the tiles and we'll do optimal width. Okay, so that lines up. We'll do a save. And let's do a spell check. Just gotta wake the drive up, sorry. Alright, let's do a spell check. Oh, just add it to the dictionary, everything. I'm just adding it to the dictionary. I'm only using this for this, and so I'm not worried about it. Alright, so that, we save it. And how many planets do we have? We've got 4 planets and 2 moons. 1, 2, say 3, and then we'll call 4. Which one looks closer? This guy looks like he might be further. 1, 2, 3. We'll say 1, 2, 3. These guys look closer in region, maybe, and then 4. Alright, so let's do it like that. Let's go Lemuskov. We'll do a right click and copy. 1, 2, 3, 4 planets and 2 moons. And we'll right click, we'll say paste. Overwrite it, we'll say yeah. And we'll say save. Alright, right now let's just go ahead and we'll make some parentheses. We'll say unknown, UNKNOWN. And we'll hit enter. Let's do resize the tiles. Right click, optimal width. Boom. Alright, let's do a save. We had, just right click the cell. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll do a paste. Okay, so our planet, next planet, and then there was the third planet. So 1, 2, and 3 planets and 2 moons. So 1, 2, and 3 planets and 2 moons. So 1, 2 moons. We'll right click. We'll say paste. Okay, and we'll do a save. And then we'll grab all the tiles. We'll right click and we'll say optimal width. Boom. Alright. So now we've got our star system set. See what just happened there? Now we've got, what do we have next? We've got the planet at Towny Wamis. Lemuskov and at Towny Wamis. Lemuskov, we're going to give it names. We're going to call it Lemuskov and at Towny Wamis. ADTOWNEYWAMIS. Okay, so our planet, our first one, let's go and select all that. ADTOWNEYWAMIS. Is that right? Let's size up the tiles. Click a save. ADTOWNEY. ADTTOWNEY. WAMIS. Alright, so we'll do tools and a spell checker. At Towny, we're going to add it. And Wamis, we're going to add it and say yes, it's done. We close and we save. Click save. Alright, environment. Our environment is what? This is decaying nuclear planet. Alright, so let's get that in there. DECAYINGNUCLEARPLANET. Decaying nuclear planet. Alright, let's do a right click. Select all the tiles, optimal width. Boom. Releasing the cursor, we say save. Alright, decaying nuclear planet. And what's next? Let's back in. We'll go to the planet. At Towny Wamis, first thing out, we have weather, contaminated puddles. Alright, contaminated puddles. CONTAMINATED contaminated puddles. And again, we're going to select all the tiles, right click, optimal width, and say OK. We release the cursor and we say save. Sentinels. Here's where we're copying and pasting. Okay, Sentinels is what? Limited? Sentinels is limited. This is why I had you fill out a spreadsheet. It begins. Sentinels, Tier 1, limited. Right click and say copy. I'm going to reset that there. And we come to planets. Sentinels, right click and we say paste. And release the cursor and we say save. Flora, we're going to Alt-Tab on the keyboard. Flora is medium. Flora is medium. I'm going to double-click, medium, medium, and say save. Fauna is what? Fauna is numerous. Fauna is numerous. numerous, numerous. And we save. I do rollouts. I write rollouts for Y2K38. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but I use a text-to-speech called Dragon, D-R-A-G-O-N, Dragon Naturally Speaking, and it's like a speech-to-text kind of transcriber. And when I'm writing a rollout, my voice is terrible, and when I spell it, then at least it spells it out. And when I go back and I go and clean up the documentation for the actual rollout, the line by line, then I can just kind of clean up what was there, and then just like it saves a lot of time, Having a blown out voice from talking over servers has just really done a number. Okay, so what's next here? What are we looking at? A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Okay, A, B, and C I kind of treat like if you need a D, make a D, but I've only really seen about 3 at a time. In this, oops, come here, come back. In this case, we've got gamma root. Okay, ancient bones, salvageable data, or whatever, scrap, or whatever, and all this stuff. This is like ABC, so we got an A of gamma root. Gamma root. So let's double click there and we'll do gamma root, Gamma root, or OT, and do an enter. And again, we're going to select all the cells, top left corner, and we say right click optimal width. Boom. Going to release the cursor and click a save. Alright, now at this point, really, okay, so at this point, if we start scrolling over, we're going to lose what we need to see. And so what we're going to do is come back over here where it says, in this case, cell number D2, underneath environment, and decaying nuclear planet. Okay, we're going to click up there in that cell, and we're going to say view and split window. And then we're going to say save. There we go. Now everything is lined up and we can scroll off to the side. And so we've got our gamma root. Now we've got gamma root. Let's go look at the elements. Our elements tab. This is why I tried to give you a snapshot earlier. Okay. Our snapshot's going to be, I can't keep going through it all. I did it all in the earlier videos. Okay, you're going to have to watch earlier videos. I can't keep going through or else it takes hours on time. But what did we have? We had gamma root. So right click, all this stuff is in earlier videos. Take a snapshot now, but it was in earlier videos. Copy, copy, copy. Oops, let's come back over here to our planets. We copy gamma root, we paste gamma root. Alright, boom. Release the cursor, we do a save, and we're going to scroll up a little bit. Alright, what's next? A, B, and C. There's no A, B, and C. Other. Okay. These are in order. Okay, stellar is always going to be copper, local, and other. Okay, so look in Alt tab. Okay, other is going to be salt. Okay, so we type a what? We type a salt, SALT, and we press enter, do a save. Let's come down to our elements. Okay, our elements tab, salt. We're going to right click, we're going to say copy, and come back to our planets. We're going to say salt, we're going to right click and say paste. Boom. Again, select all of our cells, right click, optimal width, okay, release the cursor, and we click a save, boom. Sorry about the whistle in your ear. Alright, localized, what do we have? Localized is uranium. Okay, so let's do uranium, URANIUM, alright, and we click a save. Let's come down to our elements, and uranium, boom. Right click uranium, we say copy. Come to our planets, we right click uranium, we say paste, boom. There's our paste. And then stellar. We're going to click a save. Alright, and what we got for our stellar is always going to be copper. Okay, there's our copper. Okay, so we're going to do a double click, we say COPPER, and then enter, we'll do a save. And we come down to our elements, copper. Here's our copper. We're going to right click and say copy. Boom, planets. Copper, right click copper and say paste. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to select all the tiles, right click, and we say optimal width. Boom. Release the cursor if it releases, and we click save. Type. Back to our game. The economy type is trading, and it's advanced. So trading. Let's double click type and we'll say trading, TRADING, trading. Okay, so we'll do a click of save, and we'll come to our economy tab right on the top. Okay, right on the top. Remember, there's 7 different types of systems here. 7 systems. You're going to have to repeat this for all 7 so you can gain access to each of these 5 elements. To gain access to each of those 5 elements, you must have a tier 3 economy. You see what I mean? If you have a tier 2, you're only going to get 4 of these, and you don't know which one. You know what I mean? A tier 3, you're only going to get 3 of them. You don't know which one. You know what I mean? With a tier 1 economy, with a tier 3 economy, you get everything. And so that's why we got to do it. It's a trading economy, trading. So we're going to right click trading, we say copy. Come back to our planets, we right click, and we say paste. Boom. And then we'll select all of our tiles, we right click, we say optimal width. Boom. And we release our cursor, and we say save. Click save. Back to our game, Alt Tab to our game. What do we have? We have economy is trading, and then it's advanced. So we Alt Tab, we come back to our economy cell, and we say advanced. We right click advanced, we say copy, we come to our planets, we go to our strength, I should have typed it, but oh well, and we say paste advanced. And then our conflict level, let me scroll up a little bit here. Okay, in our conflict level, what do we got? Click save. Is what? What is our conflict level? 2. Sporadic. So we come down to our conflict tab, and we find sporadic, and we right click, and we say copy, and we come back to our planets, and we right click conflict, and we say paste, sporadic, and then a life form. Okay, we alt tab. Alright, Viking. The apostrophe is always a problem when it comes to word processors or file structure names. It can be a hassle. It can definitely be a hassle. Linux and Windows tend not to like it. It's just a problem. And so the spell checker, no matter if I add the words or not, will always give a spell check notification. And so I just eliminate the apostrophe and capitalize the K. And so that's what I'm going to do here. Whoops. Do. Okay, so I'm going to double click here, capital V, small y, capital K, E-E-N, and then boom. If I try and put a K in there, do an apostrophe, it will always give me a thing, regardless if the word is in there or not. And so I'm tired of that. I'm just going to do this. Alright, so Viking. I'm going to click save. Back over here on the economy. Earlier videos I mentioned it before, but there's 7 different economy types. Trade route A, and I'm just going to presume because I don't know if it's a valid thought to assume. But I see trading, that's like a GEC word, and research is like a Corvax word. I'm going to presume then that this is going to be like a Viking. Okay, and the color that I tried to match that I saw turns to what? Light purple 4. Light purple 4. Okay, these other economies, there was a guy trying to turn a bird. He wanted to change the color. He needed dirt. If he made a base in every economy, if he had made a base in every economy system, he could just teleport or bounce to a base. You know what I mean? And he'd have everything at the ready. That's why I don't go running out the door, dude. Like, it takes time to get everything leveled up before you even leave the star system, man. You're gonna get attacked by pirates at some point. And if you're not leveled up, dude, before you even walk out the door, you're gonna be hurting. You're not gonna be happy. And so we're gonna have to do all that stuff first. Well, we got a clear line of sight. And so let me put that back. Did I get the advanced in there? And the Viking, what do we say? Purple, light purple 4? Light purple 4. Alright, so I'm going to do a save. And now what do we got here? Let's do some logic for a second. We've got 6 elements or celestial bodies of mass in this star system. Well, the common elements are going to be Viking and sporadic, advanced, and trading, and copper. These are all going to be common. So let's do this. Let's go and select these guys. And we'll right click and say copy. On the keyboard, hold down the shift and the down arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. And we'll right click and we'll say paste. Boom. And we'll overwrite that because those are going to be the same, right? And we'll click a save. and then we'll scroll back a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. We'll line everything back up. Alright, so there's our planets. And so now we've got our data kind of put into place for our star system. So now let's get everything dialed in for our coordinates. We're going to need a system. This is going to be the file save name. Okay, the file save name. So system, planet, and moon, and the location we're going to get off of screen number 1. So system, planet, and moon. We're going to call Lemuskov at Towny Wamis, and then the moon is negative. So we're going to right click and say copy, clear the cursor. Back at coordinates, we're going to go to system, right click and say paste. And there's a Towny Wamis. I'm going to select all the tiles and right click and say optimal width, optimal width. There we go. And we'll click a save. Now we need to get the location data. The location data. Alright, so what I tend to do is parentheses I'll use for like objects together, things that are kind of like unique, okay, locations or application type of things. I'll put in a kind of a bracket, okay, like not a squared, but I guess a squiggled bracket. Okay, I'm going to call it a bracket. Squared off brackets are again a file name problem when it comes to dealing with like things like Microsoft products, Office. If you use brackets, you're gonna restrict yourself from different file types. And so I call these brackets. I don't use the other, but location, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to alt tab. This is why I went through, we modified. This is why we changed this setting right here. Okay, this value to 200, okay, is for this specific reason. You need to be able at rest, let me right click and right click, you need to be able to see your coordinate data, okay, and not have to go churning around, because if you're in motion, you need to be able to see it at the ready. So it's got a bit of a fisheye lens, but we've got it on screen number 1. On screen number 1, okay, we've got what? We've got a Towny Wamis, okay, minus 22.87. So we're going to right click, alt tab. What did we have here? Oh, yeah. Now I totally forgot. Minus 22.87. Minus 22.87. Minus 4813. Minus 4813. Minus 48.13. And there's our data. We're going to click a save. And select all. We're going to see all columns to fit with. And then boom. Alright, so just for the fact that I know this is what's going to happen, we're going to take the next tile underneath just for a second. We're going to line things up and put in the split view. But while we're here, let's put in some square brackets and like a caps lock. And we're going to say space, S-P-A-C-E, space bar, station, S-T-A-T-I-O-N, space station, and press enter. And then we're going to select all the cells, and we're going to right click and say optimal width, and say OK, and then boom. And now for the next 3 tiles, we're going to do this. Event, item, and objective. Grabbing the headers, the actual top, the alphabet themselves, okay, 1, 2, and 3, just for the sake of it, just because I know it's a thing. We're going to right click, and we're going to say column width, not optimal, but column width, and we're going to sit there, we're going to select all that, and we're going to say 2, and then inches, quote, okay, 2 inches, and then boom, and then that's going to fit. And then we're going to select the first cell of the event, and we're going to say view and split window. Boom. Now we can click save. I'm going to select that space station on the keyboard. I'm going to press the delete key, clear that out of the way. Boom. Clear the tile. Now that's saved and in place. The event, this is going to be our master save, MASTERSAVE, and master save standard GAMESTART, game start. Master save, game start. I'm going to do a tab and press click save. The item is the vehicle. Capitals. Again, make the header like a bold caps lock. It comes in easier when we're removing the tablatures. Hold on. Capital VEHICLE, vehicle, and then we're going to do a space. I believe it's a radiant, RADIANT, pillar, PILLAR, model BC1, I believe, and then we'll do a tab, and then we'll click save. Okay, an objective, we're going to do caps lock, we're going to say REPAIR, repair, and then standard, we're going to say starship, STARSHIP. Boom. Alright, now make sure your caps lock is clear. We're going to click save. Alright, so in this case what we're going to do is we're going to right click this line number 2 that we just made, right click and we say copy, right click and copy. Now we're going to come back to our desktop, to our backups folder. Okay, we made our root structure with version 3.75, Le Musca, Vatowny Wamis, and our build number, and what do we got here? And the date and timestamp, okay? And then this is the part where we had that Hello Games folder. Okay, so let's just reset everything back to a 0 point. This is what, when we originally copied the game save folder in the, when we made a right click and we zipped this folder. Boom. That was your game save. Okay, down here. It's eventually going to look like this. Let's just get them both out of the way for a second. Boom. Alright, so there was the game save. In this case, since we've already working with this save in this build in general, I'm just going to keep this where it is. Okay, but if you were to highlight that, so the save itself, when it would be here, we'd right click and we'd say rename. Alright, on a keyboard, the right arrow. I say this for the normies and the youngsters. If you're a nerd, you're going to know this already. But like for the youngsters, dude, there's kids that are like 8 and 10 years old trying to do this. I'm talking to them too. You know what I mean? Whoever, but this is how you do it. So you highlight it all in the right arrow key at the end of the line. And then we say space, 0, space. So it's going to be our first. We're going to put a set of parentheses. Now, I'm going to try and be precise, but you can control V to paste. V is in Victor. Okay, but I'm going to right click and say paste and see if I get accurate. I think I did it. Alright, so here, I want you to notice that there's tabs in the screen here. The file will not save if there are tabs in the file name. And so since we're pasted here, since we've pasted at the end of the line, I'm going to put semicolons, okay, for the youngsters, okay, the one with the comma and the period, alright, not the colon, that's rejected. Alright, so now I'm going to speak mechanically for a second, just so you get the keystrokes. I know it sounds like monotonous, but like, for the sake of the keystroke, there was a kid who was almost 8 or 10 years old that was watching a video that spurred me into making these in the first place. That kid was lost, dude, and he's not going to know how to do this. Maybe normies, yeah, maybe, yeah, okay, cool, but like, for the sake of the documentation, we put in a semicolon, and with my left hand on my left control key, and then my right index finger on the left arrow key, 1, 2 times, boom. Now with my left ring finger on the shift key, I'm going to put my right index finger and the left arrow key, and I'm going to select one of those tabs. And then now I'm going to, on the keyboard, I'm going to press the semicolon and space. Boom. Now we've taken out a second tablature, or the first. On the keyboard, my left pinky touches the left control key, my right index finger on the left arrow key, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, releasing. My left ring finger on the shift key, the left shift key, my right index finger on the left arrow key, 1 time selects the tab. Again, I'm speaking mechanically. Okay, press the semicolon and the space bar. Alright, now, again, left pinky on the left control key, right index finger on the left arrow button key, and say 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Alright, now I'm going to select the left ring finger on the left shift key and right index finger on the left arrow key 1 time. Okay, semicolon and space. Here's where there's 2, and this is why I'm doing this, just to point out that it's coming soon. Okay, left pinky on the left control key and right index finger on the left arrow key 1, 2, 3, 4 times, beginning of the bracket. Now again, left ring finger on the left shift key 1 time for the moon, 2nd time for the planet. There's no moon on this planet. I want to point this out right now. If there's no moon, and this is why I've been speaking mechanically, there's now going to be 2 tabs that we're going to be removing. Okay, I just really, because like this is going to be a thing. I can only imagine a kid or a normie or a mom or somebody getting stuck if they do it. This is what's going on. Okay, select both of those tabs. Okay, or be aware that there will be a moon there eventually for ones that you do. Every star system you go to, you're going to end up with the file saved like this, so you'll know exactly where you are. There will be moons in there at point. That's what I'm trying to express. Suffice it to say, press the semicolon and space, and my left pinky on the left control, my right index on the left arrow key, 2 times to the beginning of the planet name, the left ring finger on the left shift key, my right index on the left arrow. 1 time removes the tab, selects the tab, going to press semicolon and space. Now we should be done. We're at the beginning of the end of the star system name. I'm going to press the enter key. Now I have to cough. Hold on. I'm actually dying of lung cancer, man, like coughing up black tar. Alright, so that's done. Alright, so now that's your game save. Okay, on the title bar here, on the search, the sift sort menu, okay, I'm going to right click it and say select all columns to fit. I want you to see how it's ascending, the arrow is upward. Go ahead and set it in the opposite direction as you get further into the game. Alright, but if you were to go at this point, and if you were to start a city for yourself for the first time, I was talking about taking photographs and an inventory of those photographs. We would say new folder, and you would say folder. I would put in parentheses, I would say pictures. Okay, capitals Pictures. Okay, and then from the desktop, I don't know if it's going to let us. Yay. I would go and I would into our C drive, and just for the sake of it right now, these are all going to be junk, but I would right click all of the photographs, and then I would say, or if you were inside of here and you didn't have anything clicked, I'd start at the beginning and I'd say home and select all, and then you could say home and you could say copy, or where's copy? Well, just right click it, I guess, or whatever. Okay, right click it and say copy, or cut rather. I would say cut, and I try and keep them all in organization. And then I would alt tab back to our pictures folder. I'd say paste, and we paste it in there. Okay, so that's going to take them out of the initial like save folder from the game, so it clears that cache kind of thing, and then puts it into the archive that we're going to make of this. Now these are kind of junk folders, and we'll erase all that in a second, but like this would be that initial process. I don't know if I've even got photos from it, but I'm kind of like out of drive space when it comes to the photos. I've already got them, but I don't know which one. This planet I already know, so I'm not going to have to worry about it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and so what we do here, now that that's, we cut them from the last one. Now we would right click, we would copy them, okay, back to our toolbar, or to our desktop if it lets us. Oh, thank you. Okay, we would go and we would double click our pictures folder in our library, and then we'd say paste, and this would be our master record. This will be like your game progression type of all of your photos, right? The dump file or whatever. Oh, how long is this video? Hold on a second. What are we looking at? Hour and 18 minutes. Hour and 18 minutes. I'm working on it. Working on it. Alright, so that's going to be the process. I'm going to cancel that. These are junk. I'm not going to deal with them, so I'm just going to delete these for right now. Okay, boom. I'm going to get rid of those. And then, I'm on the wrong drive. Where is this? The photos, the pictures. Yeah, these aren't for that, so I'm just going to get rid of those. Okay, but that's what we would do. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of those. And then later you get one, you put one for like maybe that and like fleet. Okay, and that'll be like the 7 starships that are specific to that dominant life form. You know what I mean? And then you've known, then once you count 7, you know what's in that system, that's exhausted. I'm going to delete that box because we don't need it. But this would be our game save, right? And what we would do is we'd come up one notch, and then we'd right click, and we'd say 7-zip, add to 7-zip, okay, file name. Gonna right click. Alright. Here's our, now we have our save. This could have multiple save files in it, but this will be the archive of that. We right click that, we'd say cut, and then we'd up arrow to our library, and we go to archive and we'd say paste. Boom, paste. Alright, I don't even remember what was in that. B3 or something? Was that the last test build I was making for you? I don't remember. Was that last night? Was that last night? Man, I've been like working this thing for so long I cannot remember. And so that's the thing, man, I cannot remember. So if that's the case, I'm just going to take this guy and we'll say cut and then up arrow in the vault. The vault, this is pretty much where you're going to be dumping everything. So once you're done with that, okay, so now you've got a situation where it's like all of your game saves, okay, end up in a large location, and some of these are large, some of these are large, alright? And if you follow this method, then you're going to be able to go back and you know what was where at which time. And so let's get through that one. What else is open here? The pictures folder, that's done. And then the game save. Oh, I'm still in the game. I probably should have exited from that. But anyway, that would be the process of it. That would be the process of it. Alright, now we're in the game right now. Okay, which planet are we on? We're on my home planet? Alright, I probably should have exited out first. Alright, if that's going to be the case, let's get out of here for right now. I'm going to exit out, and then I'm gonna reload it, get a clean copy put in there. Let's exit to the desktop. Alright, alright, alright. Once you get finished with all of that, and that file gets saved, okay, I should have exited first, okay, whatever. This is already taken care of, I'm not worried too much about it, but like, if you were starting from scratch, then okay, be careful. But right here, what we do is right click the file that we made and say copy, close that. Back to the roaming folder. Alright, this is where we had to earlier unlock the access to the app data. It's hidden folder. Okay, boom, and we say paste. And there's our game start. Here's the original that it was copied from. Okay, so we originally right click and we zip this folder, which is your game save, which is just really a couple text files. You'll get like a meg per base that you build, like a 1024. Whoops, no, escape. But there's nothing in it. Okay, it's just a couple text files. But those text files, you don't want them to get corrupt or lost or anything else like that, and you want to be able to name them. And so this is how you go about it. Once you get that zip file again, that process continues. Okay, but for the sake of it now, let's just go and cut these both out of the way. Since you're in a kind of the roaming folder, you don't want to delete the wrong thing, so I tend to do like a cut. If I'm going to take something out of here, and then I'll come to like a dump folder, and then that way I know that I didn't erase it. You know what I mean? I didn't delete it. Oh, okay, those are fine. And so in this case, I'm just going to toss these. Boom, clear that board. So that's done. And then back to where we just were, the roaming folder. Alright, so once all that's finished and you've got your game save, now you want to test, and you've got the original backed up in the dump folder, okay? You want to test that the zip file actually works, right? So you want to right click 7-zip and say extract to here. And then boom, the game is back, right? And then you can launch back into it, and you're right back where you started. And so things like perma mode or survival mode really mean nothing at that point. They don't reduce the amount of navigation data that you find at the space station. Well, then it has no effect on anything. And see, now we're back to game start. Okay? And so that's going to be the process of that. That was like spawning a planet. I'm not going to go through the whole spawning a planet part. I recommend that you spawn like this type of planet. Okay, but the stuff I'm going to show you I learned how to do on my own, dude. Okay, and I don't know, dude. It becomes very difficult to try and get a video posted on YouTube. There's, I think, artificially placed people on the top of the relevance list that when they post a video 6 seconds ago, it goes to the top of the charts. And when somebody else posts a video 6 seconds ago, they've got a 1 hour window before it disappears into oblivion. You know what I mean? But this is where we're going to be spending our time. This is where we're going to be spending our time. And then while it's nighttime, I want you to just kind of look up for a second. There's the space station. In the next video, In the next video, we're gonna have to level up our inventory, and we're gonna have to repair the starship. All right, and then we're eventually gonna have to set up a base. Normally, what I would do is like, see now, there's this the space stations where all the lines are coming together. Okay, well then I would just kind of fly that general direction until I got underneath it, and I can look on my screen 3. Okay, navigation will call. Okay, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Screen number 3, environment warning. Okay, what does that say? Environment warning, radiation. Once we're in motion, okay, we can just kind of like coast our way towards that location. That's what I mean by organic. In the video demonstration, I'm going to take a different route. I don't want to end up on the same base, and I also want to, like, when I started this video, I didn't take all of the sodium. I want to keep the lowest common denominator. Okay, so we're gonna go collect what's necessary, but every step along the way, I'm gonna kind of like keep that lowest common denominator in consideration. And so we're gonna take a different approach. We're gonna end up going and using charts, planetary charts, commercial charts, instead of trying to go organically. And then we're gonna look for the elements within there, or we can just set up our base wherever we find. It doesn't really matter wherever you choose to do it. You can apply these techniques wherever you want to go. But for the sake of this video, I want to be more kind of concrete and absolute. And so there's a bug, and that's kind of why I'm mentioning it. Once we get this vehicle fixed, there's been a bug that I've noticed that if I were to go to the space station before the mission requires me to, once the mission requires me to and I satisfy that requirement, it creates a second instance in the menu. When you're looking at the teleporter, it creates a second teleport menu for that same space station. And so I've been trying to kind of like keep the build clean, and like, so that's kind of why I took an organic approach and built the base where I did. I found my base. Um, but there cannot be a guarantee that there's going to be a base in that location. And so for the sake of the video, we're going to go into space. I'm hoping, and I read that maybe in 3.82, No Man's Sky version 3.82 Sentinel, okay, that they fixed that, or that there was a duplicate entry inside of the registry for it. If that is the case, that they fixed it, then that's cool, dude. But like, that's not enough for me to move up to that nonsense. But that's what you'd encounter if we go there beforehand. So being aware of that before we get there, okay? But I'm going to save that for a different version. I'm going to cut out of here right now. I'm just exit out to a desktop. Alright, where's the video at? Okay, hour and 27 minutes. We'll wrap it up on 3. Alright, so here's your game save, dude. There's your game save. There's your game save. Oh, man. Alright, when we come back, dude, if you come back, or whatever, and start making more, if I don't die from lung cancer, dude, we'll do it. But, like, every time you make a game save, whenever you go throughout the star system, like, I haven't been to these other planets yet. I still don't know what's out on them. I knew by that point that, like, when I'm saving planets, I don't jump ahead. That way I don't wreck the experience, you know what I mean? I know they're out there. I still don't know what's on them yet. And so we got a fresh scratch on it. A fresh scratch on it. And this is what we're going to be working with. Again, I use salt for my cash. I use uranium for my gas. I get my nanites from the residual runaway mold. Anyway, it's going to be an hour and a half on this tape. What are we going to do in the next one? And the next video is going to be what? We're going to have to level up your inventory and repair the starship. And that might just be a video in itself. And then the one after that will be like selecting a base. And so I'll figure out the titles later as we go, but this is going to be something like, I don't know, game start and spreadsheet data. I don't know, something like that. Game start and spreadsheet data. Anyway, so whatever the case is, man, I hope everything works out, and I hope this is helpful. It's going to get more intricate as we get there, but like, again, there's other videos in they're kind of lengthy, but it sets up the whole process of downloading the software, getting the software installed. So like, if you're coming onto this video right now at the end of this journey, you're not going to know which and what, and that's why I really understand that that will be the case. If you're a nerd, you already know how to do it, but if you're a normie or if you're a youngster, then you're going to be starting from scratch. Okay, and so the first the preceding videos go through the software download installation that you've got everything that you need, and then like setting up the folders that you can access the save files. Okay, again, like you're gonna have to go chapter by chapter. You know what I mean? I can do everything I can, but that's just really what how it's gotta be. But I'm gonna take a break here. We're gonna do a cut. I'm gonna do it on the dial kind of number, and I'll catch you around town. I hope you all take it easy and have a good one. But like, um, I hope this is useful. I hope this is useful. When I'm done, I'll be talking about Y2K38. But for right now, in a 3, 2, 1.